Happy New Year's, everyone. Hope everybody had a fantastic winter break. Spring 2026 is right around the corner here, and with it, the spring 2026 club baseball season. This is the digital info meeting presentation. We have a practice schedule finalized, a game schedule finalized, and dues costs finalized. All the information you need will be in the slideshow as well as texted out privately later. This is a very similar presentation to the one I gave in fall for anybody who had heard that one, but it's just updated to our spring information. For those of you who don't know, are new to this club, my name is Nathan Hayward. I am the president. Our vice president is Adon Perez. Our treasurer is Jonathan Solano. Our health and safety officer who keeps us safe during games and practice is Brandon Jung. Our marketing officer who runs our social media page and makes those awesome graphics is Tommy Tichy. Our recruiting officer who gets people engaged with the club and goes out and recruits is Gabe Sands. Our secretary who assists us with our weekly meetings is Andrew Rostrand. Again, I kind of talked about it already, but this is a table of contents for the presentation. We're going to get into the finalized practice schedule, the finalized game schedule, what to expect for dues, how much it's going to cost, and then finally just some perks of being a member of club baseball in spring 2026. First thing we want to talk about is the practice schedule. So practices are going to be as follows. On Monday from 6 to 8 p.m., we are going to be in the batting cages. I believe it's called the Stevens Hitting Facility, is on South Campus. And on Wednesday from 6 to 8 p.m., we'll be at SEFCU Stadium where the football team plays, also on South Campus. Both of these locations will be starting February 9th because of the Super Bowl. From what I hear, one of the Super Bowl teams is going to be using the South Campus facilities, so we're not going to be able to get in there until February 9th, which is much later than where we would usually start. Granted, the Levi Stadium isn't hosting the Super Bowl. But because of that, we do have games coming up that are before February 9th. We're going to figure it out and figure out where we can have practices until then and make it work so that we're ready to play. But starting February 9th, we are going to be on a solidified practice schedule, and we're going to have a lot of resources to have great practices. We had applied to have Tuesday, Thursday as our practice dates, as those dates are more ideal with the flow of our season. However, this is what the school gave us, and we're not complaining. We got the batting cages, and we got all of SEFCU Stadium, so that is a pretty good deal. Right here, I want to talk about the importance of grades. You are required to have a cumulative 2.0 GPA. Therefore, if that does not apply to you, if you're below a 2.0 GPA, you unfortunately will not be able to be a member of this club until next fall, when you can get your GPA above the minimum for the National Club Baseball Association, as well as the general SJSU club rules and club sports. That being said, during the semester, if you need to miss practice due to an exam, due to studying, due to a class, etc., that's completely fine. We only ask that you be transparent, communicate with myself or another officer that you cannot attend. This also applies to any reason you can't make it to practice. Just be transparent. Don't no-show without any reason at all. The only consequence of this would be if you're absent very frequently, it will result in less playing time. It'll reflect in that, but that's it. We're going to talk about games and travel now. First, I just want to talk about game format, just so you're prepared for that before we get into our actual official schedule. Games will always be played on the weekends. They'll be played in 3-game series formats. There will be 2 7-inning games on Saturday and 1 9-inning game on Sunday. That's how every series is going to work for the entire spring 2026 season. Here, I want to talk about equipment a little bit. With your dues, you'll be provided a home jersey and away jersey that are brand new. We just ordered from Rawlings. We're stoked to be getting those in the mail, hopefully soon. As well as a practice jersey, a helmet, and hats will be provided as well with your due money. However, that being said, you are expected to have, so if you don't have these already, you're expected to purchase and have ready by the first series we have, a royal blue belt, white pants, and a baseball glove. Away games will work as follows. We will be having a travel day, which will be on the Friday before a road trip. So we're going to play on Saturday and Sunday. So the travel day is going to be the day before. So it's going to be Friday. We're going to pick a specified time that we are going to be departing San Jose to reach our road trip destination. And with these road trips, there will be a team dinner. There will be 2 team dinners per road trip. We'll get in on Friday. We'll have a team dinner. We'll go to sleep. We'll wake up on Saturday morning, play our games. You're free to roam wherever we're at for the rest of your Saturday. We'll have a team dinner Saturday night, and then Sunday we'll get up, play. Once the Sunday game's concluded, you're pretty much off the hook. Do whatever you want, go home, whatever. We understand that a lot of guys don't have cars, so we have a advanced carpooling system where we will make sure, and I promise you, if you don't have a car, you'll have a ride organized for you to get to every series. I threw in some pictures here just so you know with your due money, like these hotels and lodging is all provided in your due money, but we're not putting you guys into Motel 6s and Super 8s. We're putting you guys into nice hotels. This is one that we stayed at 2 semesters ago on UC Davis's campus, practically on their campus, within walking distance. This was a Hyatt place, very beautiful hotel. We stayed at a couple Hyatt places last fall. We stayed at a couple Marriotts. We stayed at some nice hotels, and that's just the point I'm making here is that your due money is being spent spent well, and you are going to see the benefits of that. We are going to be in nice hotels and just going to be having a great time on these road trips. So getting into our series, I kind of have it laid out here like those NFL schedule reveals where we're just kind of going week by week. I just thought that would be cooler before we get into everything. So I give you some details about each series as well. First series, UC Davis is going to be coming to us. We're hosting them. That'll be February 7th and February 8th. As you can see by that date, that is coming up very quickly here. So it's going to be interesting. We look forward to that series a lot, but we're going to have to get into shape quickly and be prepared and ready to go. The next series, however, will be a couple weeks after, so we have some time. That'll be our first away road trip. That'll be to Sonoma State University, so we're going to be going to Sonoma. So there'll be a travel day on February 27th, 2026, and then we're going to be playing on February 28th and March 1st against Sonoma State for our second series. Our third series, we're going to be away again. This time we're going to be in University of Nevada, Reno. We're going to be in Reno, Nevada, which is pretty exciting. The travel day for that will be March 6th, and we're going to be playing them on March 7th and March 8th. So really hyped about that series, but that is 2 road trips back-to-back. And right after that, we're going to be hosting Cal Berkeley. So they're going to be coming to us March 14th, and March 15th is when we will be playing them at home. We're going to be going on the road again against Sacramento State. They're always a fun team to play. That'll be March 21st, with the travel day being on March 20th, and March 22nd being the Sunday game. That'll be, in Sacramento, like I said. Series number 6, we're going to be hosting Chico State. That'll be April 11th, and April 12th will be the days that we're playing then. And then finally, we played them in fall. They're great dudes, and I look forward to playing them again. UC Santa Cruz, they are going to be hosting us in Santa Cruz. That'll be April 25th and April 26th, with the travel day being April 24th. I included in here an easy to screenshot, screen capture, whatever, schedule, so you have it. It's got some information on there. Our home games will be played at 503 Lemus Lane, Fremont, California. That is a local Little League that is letting us use their field for free, which is keeping dues down tremendously. Fields are expensive, can run up to anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000 for a weekend. It is what they're doing for us is extremely helpful to us, and we're trying to pay it back with helping them out with clinics or whatever. I'll talk about that stuff a little bit later here. Anyways, just to talk, for our away games, we don't have an exact location decided yet. We have to hear from the other club presidents of these teams, but you have the travel dates on there, and first pitch for every single game we play is going to be 10 a.m. Besides the second Saturday game, then the first pitch is going to be anywhere from 12:30 to 1 p.m. 10 a.m. will be the first pitch time. We want our players arrived on the field ready to warm up at 8:35 a.m. But we'll get all the details and stuff out later after rosters have been made and all that good stuff. I want to talk about the Chico State game a little bit. This is a matchup. Every year we play Chico State. It's called the Golden State Cup. This one in particular is going to be the 2026 Golden State Cup. As far as I know, this has been going on for at least 2 years. We lost the Golden State Cup last year, and we won it the year prior. So as far as I know, it's 1-1 right now, so we need to win that back. So basically, the winner of the series between Chico State and us, the winner of that 3-game series, whoever comes away with 2 games at minimum, gets to keep the Golden State Cup, and it should be in here. There's our marketing officer, Tommy, holding the Golden State Cup when we had won it now 2 years ago. So we're looking to win that back. They currently have it. We're bringing that back to San Jose. Look forward to that. That's going to be an awesome competitive series. It's going to be a lot of fun. So now the most important thing, probably what everybody's curious about, how much will everything cost? What will the club dues be? It's going to be a $650 grand total for the entire spring 2026 semester. This includes everything I talked about: hotels, jerseys, hats, helmets, everything. But we want to make that work with you. We understand 650 is a lot of money, especially for college students. So we have two different things that we have in place to make that easier, less strenuous on your pockets. That is the payment plan and community service. Payment plan I'm going to talk about right now. Community service I'll talk about just a bit later. The payment plan will work as follows. We're splitting that $650 into 3 separate payment installments. There will be an initial deposit, which will be on February 2nd of $250. A second installment will be March 2nd, 2026, about a month later, $200. And then I made a typo here, but your third installment will be March 30th, 2026 for a final $200. And that's officially it. $650 off the hook there, 3 separate installments. We did this strategically so that we have enough money to operate and we're not breaking your banks. So I think it's a really smart thing we did there. How the policy works for late and missing payments. The payments are due on the first practice of every week, or of the week that the installments due. If you miss the Monday practice without payment, you'll just be given a warning. But if you come to the next practice without it, you will not be able to come back. You'll be issued a temporary suspension. You're not able to participate in any club functions, games, practices, team bonding, whatever, until you have the money in your hand ready to give us. And we accept that in cash or check. Finally, if you are going a tremendous amount of time without paying and, not responding to texts or whatever, you'll just be removed from the club. A question I got asked a lot last semester was, I had guys come up to me saying, I can't make this series, I can't make that series. Could you take that off my dues, because I'm not playing, like, why should I have to pay? So I want to make it clear here, dues will not be reduced based off of games you cannot make, because it doesn't matter what games you can't make, because we're still paying for these series, regardless. We're paying the same amount regardless you can come or not. Umpires are a flat rate. Umpires, paying for umpires, balls, whatever resources that we need for these games. We're paying for those whether you attend or you don't. So it's $650 no matter what series you can make. The only way you can get around it is if you just flat out quit after one of these installments. So say after sometime between the second and third payment installment, you quit the team, you're off the hook for the third installment. We're not going to, come after you for that. That's how it works. But as a member of the club, for the entire duration of the spring 2026 semester, you are going to pay $650 as the grand total for that. So the next thing I kind of talked about before was community service. Just a couple examples of some community service we did just recently this summer. We did the Union City Police Department Summer Sandlot. It's the annual thing they throw in the summer, and for 3 days in June, 3 days in July. Our guys who showed up to that got $100 taken off of their dues, so that's a substantial amount of money. We also did the Union City National Night Out, which took a good chunk out of dues for a couple people. And how community service will work is as follows. It's extremely important to our club's purpose, what we want to do. We want to be very involved in the community. And you will be rewarded for participating for being involved in the community, for participating in our community involvement goals. So money will be taken off your dues. Prior to community service being, once I announce it, there'll be a sign-up sheet. Put your name in the sign-up sheet. If you are 100% certain you can make it for the specified time, the sign-up sheet will also say how much money is being taken off your dues. However, only put your name on the sign-up sheet, like I said, if you're 100% certain, unless some unforeseen emergency happens, that you are going to be there at that specified time. Because when we're doing these community services, we are working with other organizations here outside of club baseball. So we have to be, we have to be professional with that. So there, you can't put your name on it and then back out last minute for no good reason. We'd be upset about that. And if that did happen, you would just be barred from any future community services for the remainder of the semester. If you have any opportunities, any organizations that would be willing to kick us money in exchange for community service, I'd love to hear about it. Any opportunities to get involved in your community, wherever you may be from. I would love to hear that. You can come to me with that and we can talk about it. So finally, this is the last thing I believe, or the last sort of thing that was in the table of contents. Club perks. A lot of the guys know this, but there's a club sports gym is located where the basketball team plays. I can't remember what the arena is called. But it's located there. I know you guys know if you've ever used the SRAC before, it can get incredibly busy. And it's always super annoying trying to get a lift in there, especially upper body. So this is an empty gym. It's amazing. It's right next to the SRAC, so it's not a hassle to walk any further or anything like that. The hours of operation are a little wonky. I remember last semester in the fall, sometimes it would open at like 4 p.m. But when I do get the hours, I'm going to send them out to all of our club members immediately. And the only thing we ask is you take great care of the equipment. I don't want to hear about, guys throwing weights around and, or whatever, you could do in a gym to not take care of the equipment. Don't want to hear about that. So just, be gracious. We have this gym with not a lot of people in it and, treat it good. There's a picture of it up there as well in the top left corner. It's also a great resource being in club baseball. You're not just going to find people here that are you share your interest in baseball. You can find people that share your major. We have like 4 or 5 aviation majors on this team, for example. Minor, if you have the same minor as somebody, general life experience. A lot of guys here from a lot of different walks of life. It's just a great way to find people, like-minded people that you can build connections and foundations with. And it's just beneficial in pretty much every aspect of life. So also, if you're looking for club officer experience at the end of this spring season, all the officer positions are up for grabs, even mine. If you want to come race for president, that is open to you as well. It looks great on resumes, and it's a lot of fun. Builds great leadership skills, and I can say from firsthand experience, I definitely got a lot of skills I did not have before taking the job. So, yeah. Tryouts. Tryouts are going to be the week of, I haven't picked if it's going to be on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday yet, but I'll be specifying that very soon. Monday, January 26th to Thursday, January 30th. That might actually be a Friday. I think that's Thursday, actually. Never mind. There's no fee to try out. It is open to everybody. Yeah, so no paying for that. And how it's going to work is there are going to be no official cuts when it is all said and done. There's going to be a practice squad option. So the option will be open to you if you do not make the official roster to pay a one-time fee of $200 to be able to attend all practices and grow your skills throughout the semester. However, you just won't be a part of the official roster for games. You will be allowed to be in the dugout for home games, obviously, and still be a member of this club. However, you will not be on the official roster and playing unless there is a vacancy on the team. If somebody, for any reason, there's a vacancy, somebody's out of the club who was on the roster, a practice squad player would fill in that position. So the next meeting here will be Thursday, January 22nd from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the rec field. It's on South Campus, right by the South Campus parking garage. So we do not officially have the paperwork for the facility, for the rec field. However, I don't expect anybody to be on it. But if there are people on it, we could just get some throwing in or something on the alleyway right next door. I just want to get people's arms in shape before we end up playing, or before we end up having tryouts. I think it's a great idea to get out there. Also, if you're new, I'd love to meet you. And that facility is next to, that field has lights, and the alleyway next to it is well lit from the golf course and the rec field. So I think it's just the best place for where we're at right now in the year with the daylight savings and all that, where it's getting dark. It's going to be nighttime by 7 p.m. So I think this is the best option as it is right now. The Super Bowl thing and the whole not being able to practice until February 9th does make things a little bit tricky, but we'll work through it. We'll figure it out, and I look forward to meeting you guys, and for everybody who was with the team last fall, I look forward to catching up with you guys again and seeing you guys. And yeah, I greatly look forward to a spring 2026 semester like no other, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, and I will see you Thursday.